Give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up? All right. Welcome to the Monday, August 11th, 2025 Town of Tuftonboro Selectmen's Meeting. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Any public input? Okay, seeing none. Approval of the minutes. We have one set of minutes from our last meeting, Monday, July 28th.
Yeah, I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes as drafted.
I have to abstain. I haven't had a chance to read them yet.
Okay, I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Appointments. Code officer is not here. So we can postpone that. We'll move on to Parks and Rec. Hey, Dennis, come on up.
Well, the bad news is, I know you guys are gonna take this out. Wolfville beat our cornhole team last week. 3-2. 5 teams, 2-man teams, 20 people.
So they bring us some ringers from
Well, they beat us 3 years ago. We beat them last year. They shared. The one thing I will say is the best player out of all 20 players was on our team, and he had a softball playoff game.
Oh, no.
We would have won that first match. They have the cup, so we gotta improve.
Well, next year. As always, next year.
I think so, yeah. The beach, I can't believe the summer's almost gone, but the water condition seems okay, although it is a hot tub, right?
It's not too bad.
No, it was nice.
Definitely low.
It was,
Yeah, we were in there. I was in there last week, and it was
I was
nice.
in there last night, and it was.
We wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, it was. I wouldn't call it cool, but it was refreshing enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. The monitor, again, she's only there limited hours. It's funny, the two gentlemen that were here about requesting, which probably spurred on the hiring of a monitor. Both had come to me about her, and I said, listen, she's only 20 hours. The beach is open how many hours, a week? We're trying to get her, the best times, and she's called me with incidents, with drinking, with dogs, with smoking. One day she worked 11 hours because it was busy. They have these baptism groups come in, and they do baptizing in the water and stuff like that. They don't contact me or anything, they just show up. But that's been happening since I've been here, and that was one of the days she was there. So it's helping, because when she's there, and she's
Are the baptizers rabble rousers?
I don't think so. A lot they show up in big vans and they all pile out and they play music, but they keep it down. And she's good about that. She called me one day and said, music is blaring, and I said, well, just tell us more, we control it, just turn it down. So, if she wasn't there, people would be getting away with that. So, that's good there. The docks, I think we got to look at. There were 6 docks, we put 3 out. For us, ideally, I'd love to have a swim team, I'd love to have swim lessons, and I'd love to have the lanes. But I think under our current conditions, we don't have enough good quality, parts to put that together, so.
At this point, it's merely it's a safety issue, right? I mean, we can't put ourselves in a place of being liable.
Last week, the ladder going up, someone broke that, so we had to switch the other ladder over there, and that could have been dangerous too. So we got pretty good plan on that.
No, budget season's coming up.
Yeah.
Start planning for 2026.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, not just repairing. Let's figure out
Let's do it right.
a good fix. If we need 3 more docks, what do 3 docks cost?
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. And I don't think it's the docks, it's the underneath equipment, you know, the angle braces and stuff like that, so.
They last a long time though,
Yeah, but it's been there about 20 years, you think?
at least, because I can't remember it ever coming forward when I was a selectman.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna get a 20-year lifespan out of it, then you can amortize the cost over 20 years.
Yeah.
And that's really amounted.
Okay, I'll note that. Yeah. Another guy had a pretty good idea. You know, our ramp going down is not the best, number one, but he was suggesting railings going down the stairs, which is probably a pretty good idea. When you think about it, a lot of the guys, you know, I don't want to say my age, older, much older than me, I'm sure. But, you know, that might be a good idea, and I don't know how they do it because it's cement, but I'm sure there's a way they can figure that out, you know.
Well, that's not an alteration to anything that's structured, so I don't think we need state permission to do that.
No, it's a safety issue.
Yeah.
Even if it's made out of wood, right? Anything, really.
Yeah, I don't think I'd make it out of
Metal?
wood. Yeah, I think I would probably make it out of metal, but
Pipe or something.
yeah, but if you wanna, if you think railings are a good idea, figure it out.
Yeah.
Come up with a plan and a budget.
Yeah. I did talk to Jamie, he was police officer at the concert Thursday. And just mentioned to him in a nice way that, you know, it'd be nice to just have the person on duty, just walk the beach twice a day or something. You know, just come in and greet the people, maybe just walk the beach. And he was for that, so, you know, I think that'll help, you know. Any word on the parking signs?
The state's weighed in on that. They're in favor of us doing it. I think it was not to put them on the fence, but to actually put signposts up.
Yeah, so we're at a point of just ordering them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're at the point of ordering, or we may have already ordered.
I know summer's gonna be over by the time they get.
No, I know, and I don't know what's happened. There's not as many there now that are doing it. You know, before there'd be 3 or 4 and they just take.
Well, July is the big, huge
Yeah.
month.
So.
Summer's winding
Well, that's
down.
good to know. The other thing too, I
I hate
think,
to say it, but
you got the handicap signs over by the portal. And I'm almost wondering if they're better off where they come into the entrance by the pavilion. You know what I'm saying? There's a van thing there and there's a handicap thing, but I'm saying, why is the handicap way over there? They gotta walk all the way.
Yeah, that's a legitimate question.
Yeah. I don't know if there was a reason they put it over there, because of the bathroom maybe, I don't know.
I can't imagine.
don't know.
It's typically the best parking in the place
Sure.
for obvious reasons.
I don't have any objection to changing it.
Yeah, I mean, just, if it was closer to, you're there because you're there for the beach, you know?
If you think it would work out better.
I do, I think it's be closer, right?
How many do we have? 2?
One's a handicap van, I think. Van, it says van access, so there's probably 2, yeah. Yeah, okay. The tractor we were grooming the beach, cost us $250 and it went about 80 yards and it ceased. Zach Tubbs donated another whole tractor to us, without the mower thing on it. His kids used to pull a sled in the snow, you know, stuff like that. So it runs fine. And the times when the bottom is raked and the top is groomed, it looks great. You know, to be that first person to walk to the beach and see that, it's, you know, I've done that a few times. It's just kind of a nice feeling.
It's like opening up a jar of peanut butter.
That's it. Yeah.
The first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, people are bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. All right, what else? Sand is an issue. Again, that's, as you're grooming it, you can see more pebbles and rocks than sand sometimes. So I think we gotta look at the sand thing. And I think maybe we had a contract or something that ran out. And I talked to Jack about it a little while back.
A permit.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're restricted on the upper portion. I know that we can't just dump sand on the lower portion, but the upper portion.
No, I don't think there are any restrictions on the top part
Really?
to maintain it.
But a certain type?
I'm sorry?
A certain type of sand? don't know, I mean, I didn't know what a mooring was when I come up here.
I'll check with Jack, but I
Yeah.
don't remember that there was a permit required for the platform where like the pavilion is, that sort of thing.
Yeah, the upper deck there.
Yeah.
Again, if you want sand,
Yeah, budget.
check it with Jack and then put it in the budget next year.
Our the concerts, we've had 2 canceled. The first 2 concerts of the year even was kind of threatening weather. It wasn't real best weather you'd want. And one of them was Carolyn Ramsey, which she normally brings, you know, a couple hundred, 300 people sometimes, and she was one of them. But those 2 went on, but then we had 2 other cancels. One was the Wooden Nickels, which was their last performance as a band, so that got canceled. But I took one of them, actually I took one of them, and they're gonna be playing as part of a little home week on a Friday night as an event. But yeah, we're just making a flyer now. These are all the summer concerts for August, based on moving some, you know, we have the money for it,
Right.
and they wanna get paid, so, and then the Echo Tones are gonna be playing at our newly installed electricity.
Is that done?
I don't know.
Wednesday, the electrician will be there,
Seriously.
seriously. And then a couple of days later, he'll connect it. He met with New Hampshire Co-op last
Yeah.
Friday.
So back to your,
Because all the advertisements gone.
back to your sand issue.
Yeah,
You can order a couple of, you have plenty of money in your budget to
Yeah.
maintain your beach. So I don't think you need to get into
okay.
future warrant articles for that. A load of sand's probably $400.
He's gonna need a few,
So maybe,
probably 2, 3, 4.
yeah, so he's $1,600. So it's, I mean, he's currently at 31% on his budget. So he's got $50,000 left. So
You think I should do it this year?
yeah, if you need it, why not?
Yeah.
What would be the point of waiting?
Right.
But I would have Jack come down and take a look, see what you need. I mean, you may not need all of it this year, you may wanna put some in just to get through this year.
We can tell how much, I mean,
Yeah, and then plan on doing it before the beach really kicks into gear next spring. Cause you're gonna lose some over the winter,
yeah,
you know, just from the climate.
but it's so thin now, you know, like you're starting to see little pebbles and stuff like that, so. Okay.
Talk to Jim, well, I'll talk to Jack first, make sure that it's doable,
Yeah.
and then road agent, talk to the road agent.
Is that what we get us in? I know he had dumped sand once down at Melvin a few
If
years
he's got
back.
he's got the ability to spread it out.
Yeah,
You're not gonna spread it out.
okay.
They'd have to come down,
All right,
come down to the backhoe.
Yeah, I'll talk to him tomorrow.
You probably have to check with DES for the Shoreline Protection Act.
Well, that's why I suggested talk to Jack first.
I don't think that was Jack.
No,
that
not
was,
the lady.
Conservation.
Yeah, okay. Same concerts. Old Home Days, is pretty much scheduled, starts next, Saturday with actually 4 events. Historical Society and, the church, which they do their luncheon and craft fair and stuff like that. Then there's an open house for art, and then that same group is doing wine and cheese, so. Kicks off Saturday, we really don't kick off till Thursday with the concert, Friday concert, Saturday, the antique car show and the, kind of the blow up city up there, at Davis Field. And then Sunday's the town picnic at our new electrical spot. And with Bubba, my main guy that puts up my picnic tent every year, he's gone cross country. So I started thinking, I was saying, I called the company and we used to charge like $200 and something because we picked it up down in Rochester, put it up, brought it back. But with them coming up here, setting it up, it's like $500. So my plan is this, we've already got 2 pop-up tents. Go out and get 4 more pop-up tents. That would give us like 6 little pop-up tents. I know I can get 2 more from Zach and the lady down the street. That'd give us like 8. to be used for the town for anything. But we have 8 of our own pop-up tents, rather than spending $500 and one day it's up and it's gone the next. What do you guys think of that? Plus I have a credit card, so I haven't spent it and I'm really anxious.
How big are these ones?
10 by 10.
10 by 10, so you fit 4 people underneath those.
No, you could fit a regular size picnic table. Yeah. I'm just thinking if you got 8 of them or 10 of them, well, we have 100 people there.
I don't know. Your budget, you can do what you want.
I know, but I thought I'd throw it by you guys.
My humble opinion is I think one big tent would be better than a bunch of little
Yeah.
ones.
And you haven't spent any of your old home days
So
money
you
yet.
want me to spend that money?
Well, you got it in your budget, if you don't spend it, they're gonna say,
Yeah.
why do you need it?
Yeah, I know, okay.
The difference between $200 and $500, I don't see that as a,
Okay, but we would own these things, and then when the selectmen have a little event, they can have a pop-up tent.
and where you're gonna store them and how
Oh, we
you're
got
gonna keep them.
storage, don't worry about storage, I got the dump I got downstairs, you've seen my office. Alright, let me go on, yard sales the first Saturday in October, and then we're looking at Halloween, we're trying to get more of a community effort with the Halloween program, just like we're trying to do that with Old Home Days. And Dave and I had talked about that a little bit.
Do you do a trunk or treat?
Well, last year I was, out for 2 months with my accident.
No, but I mean, like,
Yeah, we do.
is that something that?
The last
is our-
year we had a Halloween party up at the townhouse. Right out here, and some of the camps took part, and then they walk right across to go trick or treating in the development. So it's kind of a nice, mix, But trying to get the camps and the churches and, they do trunk or treat, school does it, let's just all come together and do a nice big thing, so. Word's out, we'll see. If not, we'll just, do our own. But, that's it.
Tell us about John Littlefield.
About him?
Yeah.
He lives above Dave in the general store. He's been a DJ a number of times for us.
What's the context? I'm curious.
He wants to hire him.
No, he's been doing a great job. Bubba's son was the maintenance guy for July, and he's gone on trips.
That's where I'm going. You're not adding a guy, you're just replacing a guy.
Yeah, so John's,
Okay.
he's already started, and he's a janitor up at the middle school.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd recommend,
Yeah.
certainly.
Okay. I just wanted to know what you were doing because I
Yeah.
didn't know that exactly
And
what
anytime I hire him as a DJ too, he don't charge me the DJ rate.
Alright.
Like we're gonna have a DJ at the car show, playing 50s and 60s, and I'll probably give him $200,
I don't move that we hire John Littlefield to replace Bubba's son
Yeah.
for Parks and Rec.
One second.
All those in favor?
Aye. So while we're on the topic of maintenance, let's not forget about Melvin Wharf.
I know, did we got architects or something? That's the last.
Well, we have people swimming down there every day,
Right,
so that's part of your,
I know that, I brought that
No,
up
yeah.
last meeting about trying to put Band-Aids on that thing. And,
well, I'm not worried so much about you rebuilding it as I am worried about making sure that there's, that beach is raked and the dock is picked up, the trash is removed. all
I
that
don't
kind of-
really get some trash there. I know that, I honestly, to be honest with you, I haven't been down there much,
Yeah, well, it's obvious because the washout is run across the beach, so there's been no raking involved there, so we just put it on your schedule of events to make sure that Melvin
Okay.
Beach
I'll
gets
take a look
looked
at it.
at.
Maybe I can get John to go down there.
It's
Yeah,
as
just
impor-
once a
it's-
month or
yeah.
something,
It's as important as 19 Mile Bay.
yeah.
Well, I know, believe me, I mean, those people that went down there, hopefully by next year we'll get that water problem fixed. With the drainage coming in.
Right, we're gonna talk about that at
Yeah,
5:15.
Later.
Yeah, we're talking about that tonight.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. That's it.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thanks.
Keep up the good work.
My wife, when I came here, I said, I need two things up here in New Hampshire. She goes, what's that? I said, a Beagle, which I have.
Yeah.
She got me a Jeep.
Happy anniversary, by the way.
Yeah, thanks. It's up to meeting, not up to marriage.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's not,
Okay.
all right,
Take care, Dennis.
thank you.
Transfer station. Hey, Chris.
Hey, how are you? This was starting. I just did lots of stuff. Income, for year to date versus last year, and just went down for it. Freon appliances, last year we cleared 445 calls. This year we're at 730 year to date. Waste oil, we're at 150 year to date versus 175 for last year. Tires were at 1,250 year to date versus 46 last year. Bulky items, washing machines, dryers were at 120 versus 95 last year. Electronics were at 1,600. Last year we did 2,575 for the whole year. Brush were at 2,065, a little over half a year. Last year we did 5,000. We're still a little bit behind 8 ball with C&D. Last year the total we did 96, 521. This year, year to date, we're at 64, 442, which is a little over 12,000 under what we paid. So we're still off a little bit for the CD.
Yeah, you're $15,000 off.
12,278 is what I got.
You got 80,000 you've spent. Oh, I'm sorry, 76.
Bulbs, we've collected 111, and miscellaneous collected 32. As far as potential income, they've got 46,000 pounds of dry wood waiting to be picked up. That's about 3,500. And I have 5,000 pounds of aluminum on the ground, but I'm sitting on it because price hasn't gone up. I wasn't happy with it. They wanted to give me 60 cents a pound. It should be about $1 a pound. So I'm waiting, we can let that sit for the rest of the year if we're not worried about making 3,000. Other than that,
So from a volume standpoint,
yeah.
your brush is a third less volume sitting on the ground? Is
Right.
that what's going on?
We just,
Because you got $10,000 to grind it up.
right, so I'll get my guy to come in sometime around October or November to do his grinding, and I expect we'll probably have half, a little bit less than half for my budget October.
And I don't, there's no money spent yet on Island Day, but I know Island Day happened, so.
It did happen, I have that written down, we brought in 770 dollars, which means clearly this has to be looked at as a benefit to the public, not a manufacturer. We're spending, I mean, I'd like to see us break even, but we spent we took in 760 bucks
Okay.
And it's gonna cost us at least $800 for trucking, plus
Tipping.
I pay, no, we get the dumpster for free from Waste Management, they give us that perk. But we have to pay for Frankie Cranch's crew to truck all the metal and refrigerators and crap. And then I have to pay my 2 people. So we're probably, putting out 13, 1400 and we took in 7.
Right.
So we might have to discuss sometime this year coming up. Having.
So we didn't go way over
fees.
budget or anything like that.
Yeah, no. So we might have to make up something like we do with a pickup truck. A boat with so much is $50, a boat with so much is 75, whatever.
We're not charging them now?
We charge them, but it's hard to gauge it.
How much are we charging them?
Well, it's whatever the fee is for a particular item.
Oh,
So if they come in with a refrigerator, $10. If they come in with some lumber, you look at it and you go, no, it's $20 worth. But it should be, I think, more of an increase.
well, it's not like at the transfer station when people bring that stuff up, they bring it and drop it off. Now you're paying people to handle it down there.
Right, so this is why I'm thinking, somebody brings a stove and it's $10, it's
15.
15, 20, whatever. Cause you're right, we have to commit the labor to move it, commit the trucking to move it, and then we still have to handle it up there.
Right.
So, it's a losing proposition.
Right. Well, you're handing it up there, but we're paying them anyways, regardless, so
Right,
it's not the extra cost that you're paying the Frank's crew.
right. But we're hovering about what we do every year, so it's not a big surprise to me, but
So it's always a cost center.
there's something that we might have to address there.
Yeah.
And,
Better to have it at the transfer station than littering up the islands.
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a service that we're providing for town people. My personal opinion is that, they should hire a barge company, haul the crap off the island. But, yeah, it's a business with somebody else to do.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen.
Other than that, the budget seems to be maintaining fairly well.
And you had some personnel changes you were talking about a month or 2 ago. Is that gonna happen or is it not gonna happen?
We still have Barry working part-time,
Okay.
and we haven't posted or discussed
Right.
moving anybody up to his former position, and that's something we need to discuss offline. But it's something we're gonna have to address. So,
Yeah, you can't, I mean, you have to have a certain bench to operate. I mean, if
Yeah.
something happens or,
we're functioning,
So Barry's your number 2, but he's not full-time anymore.
he's pinching for Newman. I'm on a day off for if I'm 2 weeks from now, I go on vacation. He's allowed with his retirement for 8 days a month. So I had to tail end stack September, August, so he can cover for me. So I'll be without him.
One of you two should be there
We are,
whenever the transfer station is open.
correct. That's how we've been functioning, but, so, for the first part of August, I'll be there every day, because I'm on vacation. And then the second part of August, he'll be there every day, because he's covered for me.
So it sounds like what you're saying is, okay, we got Barry right now, but we need to move away from that situation when we can.
Well, I think that he is filling a gap right now. you know, when we have it on, we, you know, he was paid a certain amount and he would agree to cover, but we, at some point, had need permit fence.
Right. So, yeah.
So you're gonna need to hire somebody, or do you have somebody in-house that can, well, again, it's probably a discussion for,
Yeah.
But I'm happy to have that discussion whenever you guys want to.
well, probably need to
Sure,
do,
that's
probably need to do sooner than later.
Yeah, we all come in the next meeting if you want. Not sure we have time now.
Now, we have in 4 minutes, we have to, and then we have something else,
Yeah.
so tonight,
But-
tonight's not a good night, but
Oh,
Next
you know,
week's
it's
agenda.
just the 25th if you want me to.
yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
You just gotta make sure that, are your hours consistent? I mean, when do you have a set schedule, or do you just show up when you,
Well, I have a schedule of days I work. And generally, I show up later in the morning so that I can close. So if I need to get somebody else out, I can. But that's, I mean, I've published them in Rock and generally, and that's all part of the discussion that we need to have with theft, because
Yeah, because we have Barry is, I don't know what his schedule is, but let's look at all of it,
yeah,
because he's not gonna continue forever, so. So we're gonna do it on the 25th, is that the plan?
you should, yes,
Okay,
sooner than later.
and you're
I'm
back
on
from
vacation
vacation?
that week, Chris.
yeah, you know what? Yeah, I don't get back until the 30th. So,
The 8th.
September 8th.
The 8th is Labor Day, isn't it?
No, the 1st is Labor Day.
So, the 1st is Labor Day?
Yep.
I don't mind,
Short summer.
this needs to be addressed.
yeah,
I don't mind coming in, like, to have a work session, just to have a non-public with him sometime.
Well, he's not back till the 30th.
well, I mean,
Yeah, but I mean,
next week I can do it.
yeah,
Whatever. Me real quick, I shouldn't take more than half an hour.
yeah, I don't mind doing that. Do you guys, maybe next Monday afternoon?
If we gotta come in Tuesday, let's come in Tuesday. That's my feeling. We gotta be here Tuesday anyway,
It'll be
at
here
6:30.
Tuesday anyways.
What's Tuesday?
Budget.
Budget.
Oh, right.
Budget committee.
I have-
Yeah, we can do it.
It's on my
That's
calendar,
fine.
I swear.
It
It is. I just put it on there today.
Yeah, even if it's like 5:30.
Well, 5 o'clock.
Yeah. 5 o'clock Tuesday, sure.
5 o'clock Tuesday?
That's next Tuesday.
Next
Yes.
Tuesday.
Yes. Week from tomorrow.
We all good with that?
Yeah. Changing my calendar now.
In topics of discussion, we haven't received any bids yet for the work out there.
Of building work.
And we haven't done the work yet for the waste management damage. I expect that our carpenter will probably be up in the next couple weeks taking that.
And nothing on the roof yet?
Nothing, no. So hopefully we can get that buttoned up before cold
Winter.
weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure the roofing guys will be interested in getting on that in the next couple of weeks.
Should be relatively quick, right?
Yeah. Other than that, we had mowing of the hill.
Nikki, can I have this?
We had mowing of the hill. I had to get a bill for that. backhoe. I'm sure you've seen in the budget, backhoe has been losing us. We've had a hydraulic problem, and have the folks come out and look at it. They put a relay in. It's not really curing the problem. I think we might have a bad hydraulic pump. It's, when it gets warm, it tends to have a little lag. And it's not the transmission, it's a hydraulic pump. So, it might be another thing that we need to sit down and look at with that. Might sit there, maybe time to pull the trigger and get rid of it. Much I hate to say that, it's a good machine, but it's, every time we turn around, it's $1,000 to fix it.
Well, then it's not so good of a machine then, is it?
So,
We just put a lot of money into that last year.
we did,
Well, let's have that on next Monday or Tuesday as well.
Hello.
I will be right with you.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
done.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Afternoon.
Oh, I can't hear you. Hold on, sorry.
You there? All right.
I'm here.
How you doing?
Good. You guys must be getting sun. You look like you're tackling a lot of projects there. Sorry to interrupt your meeting. I think we'll make this quick.
No, you're not interrupting this.
You're on the
agenda.
Well, I guess what I hope to do, I just give you a quick review of kind of what we've been working on with Lake Winnipesaukee Association, and then tell you why we're hopefully having a quick meeting here. And that's we helped them get a grant to improve some drainage. I think when we all met last down at the Melvin Wharf Road, you guys pointed out that there was, one of the big issues with beach erosion down there, and Lake Wentworth Association, they really felt that was that plus what they'd identified as excess nutrients in the lake. They thought this would be a good spot to put some efforts into improving the drainage, capturing some of the water that would otherwise potentially flow down the beach and remove the sand, which it kind of, hurts you guys and the lake. So we discussed coming up with a concept plan with them, and they got some funding, and it was largely, I think, ideas we described when we were on site. We liked them enough, I think we took them on as our own with a couple tweaks. And so what we found is that we've done a little mapping of the drainage down there. You guys do, I'm going to share my screen if that's okay with you, so you can see this plan. Will you not have, it's more or less the plan I sent over, but I wanted just to kind of show you a map of the this here. Let's see. So can you see this screen currently?
Yep.
So so this is a bird's eye view, plan view. Incidentally, I have Phil Bollier here joining me from our company. He's will be the designer, but I figured I'd go through the brief review of how we got here, and then he can answer questions if you had them. This is a plan view here. This is the asphalt looking, down. The lake here is on the left. You have the Melvin Wharf out here. You have your beach area. Water currently flows down the road and down these two ditch lines, and a good portion of it flows over the beach currently and down into the lake, and that again removes sand from the beach and puts extra nutrients in the lake. You have a drainage pipe, a drainage system here with Flint Drive, plus a lot of drainage that comes up from 109. That currently goes down this underground pipe underneath. The nearest we can tell is its approximate location. We unearthed a corner of it here, and we've traced it back. This comes out and actually crosses on this gentleman's, the abutter's property here. So that's a current drainage system.
That's that 15-inch, that's the 15-inch?
That's right.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. And that really captures a lot of the drainage area from here. We're not trying to deal with that water. That water is kind of well managed. It may not be treated as well as it could be, but the real thing is we're missing all the drainage in here on this paved section of road that comes down and flows across the beach and down. So we identified, a drainage area that we could capture, potentially add some treatment to it and route it in a non-erosive manner away from the beach, and yet try not to impact the beach area at all. So this is kind of our drainage area here, this last portion of Melvin Wharf Road from the this catch basin. So this area here would be the area that we're trying to capture. Route it down. The idea is, I think someone had a good idea of using a strip drain here. And I don't know if you're familiar with those, but they're often used at loading bays.
Yes.
This is a shallow kind of trench with a grate across it. Allows you to capture a wide, a wide expanse, runoff from a wide expanse of the asphalt, as opposed to a catch basin where you really need to focus the water to it. So the idea is that water coming down in this ditch line, this current little ditch line, and I say ditch, it's really a shoulder, or anything flowing down the center and not making it off by the crown, we'll capture this. The idea, the concept we have is it would be routed in a small drain pipe over to a small depression, some of which naturally occurs here. It would pond up, some of the sand would settle out here. This is off to the side of the beach. I'll show you a picture in a second. And then it would pond up to a point, this is about 2 feet deep, 505 to 507, maybe 2.5 max. And the water would get up to a certain point and it would spill over and come out a new drain pipe out on the side here, away from the beach. That's the concept. This isn't, too complicated, but we did find a dead end pipe here. This pipe didn't really seem to have any contributing area, it just ended in sand. And it may have been some relic drainage system matters here. But the reason I'm getting you guys together is some of this work here, if we send water over to here, is some of this water could, because there's a low point over here, some of this water, sending water to a low point, some of it could bleed over in the direction of this abutter. This is the property line here of that abutter. This is the town's property here, of course. This is the abutter to the, what I referred to in that email, the abutter to the west. And this is a stone wall. I'm going to show you quickly show you a photo so you can get oriented, because I think you guys have been there. Are you seeing a photo?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So this photo this shows now standing on the beach area.
Oh, no, we're still looking at the plan.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me share this again. Sorry.
And the plan that you've got showing, we don't have. We have.
Okay. Yeah. I won't be able to come both. Okay. I'll switch back.
Okay.
I'm trying not to switch too quickly, but do you see the photo now?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So here's the nub of the point of this quick call is that when we're now on the beach looking back up towards the drainage, the idea is to capture the water on this, capture it in a strip, collect it in a strip drain and route it over. There's already a natural low depression here. But as you can see, this depression, the stone wall kind of follows this depression. There's a low point over here. And and there's a bunch of blueberry bushes they planted right along the property line. And what we're wondering is whether the landowner would consider allowing us to extend this berm that they already have on this side of the stone wall, more or less along the property line, and that would allow this water that comes in here to not have to put a berm on this side of the stone wall, which would make this area so small that might not be as effective at removing pollutants. We can still route the water through to prevent the scour of the beach, but as part of the grant, they would like to be able to soak some of that water in the ground and remove some pollutants through infiltration, stormwater infiltration. So there's two kind of competing or two objectives, which are, somewhat in competition with each other. And that is that the more treatment we need to do, the more space we need, and we don't want to cut ourselves so short that that we don't have much room for error, and we're sending water over into the abutter's property. So what we hoped to do was to do a little more of the design, polish it up a little bit, and then have an on-site meeting with both the select board and the abutter to just see what their thoughts are on this before we get too far into this design process, and see how they feel. And I didn't want to invite you guys to a meeting in which you hadn't seen this concept and hadn't had a chance to have some input, at least on it. So none of us want to be blindsided, and so I wanted to see if at least give you guys a chance to digest this, and also make any suggestions if you had some, and see if you'd be willing to attend a meeting, because it's obviously on town's property, and Lake Wentworth has this money, but it's town infrastructure, and this is a beach, and we don't want to encroach on the beach area.
So none of the drainage is going to go to the east.
Yeah, that was I was just gonna ask that.
Yes.
Why can't we go to the east rather than
This way. This way here.
where the 15
Oh, I'm sorry.
where
I'm sorry.
the
This
east
way
side
here.
where the 15-inch culvert dumps out? Why wouldn't we go in that direction? That way you'd avoid dumping water in front of his beach altogether.
Yeah, so part of it is there's not enough space there to do any kind of treatment. If we were just trying to pipe water into the lake, we can do that pretty easily. But the grant is to do more than just help out the town with the beach erosion. It's also to do some form of treatment. The water would still end up on this side, but we have a little more space on this side. And again, if you guys say, no, we don't like that, we can try to come up with something. There's just a lot less space on this side.
I know. I'd like to see an option on the east side, even if it's in the area where that you say abandoned 10-inch culvert was.
Over here.
Yeah, somewhere in that area.
Okay. All right.
I'd like to see an option there.
Okay. The property line, just so you guys may be aware, but this is the property line on that side. It goes
We're
all the way.
still looking at the photo.
I'm sorry, Jesus. I'm sorry, excuse me. All right, let me stop share. Let me share again. Yeah. Okay. So yes, this is the property line here.
Yeah.
And so the 15-inch pipe comes out here actually on this person's property.
Yeah. So I'm thinking a little bit more south of that, south of that 9-inch birch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right in there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's potential certainly to do that. It would probably be a little bit smaller. And I guess the question is, without flipping, does that kind of encroach on where we're putting it out almost on the wharf at that point? This is kind of the beginning of where the wharf ties into shore. But would you guys be okay with the same size there, or at least as an option, or would you want to see it kind of necked down some?
I think we should look at it as an option.
Okay.
I mean, there's plenty of room at the foot of the wharf. I guess you call that the foot of the wharf.
Okay.
And it's a lot less complicated than trying to negotiate with the neighbor.
And I mean, either way, you've got a low spot on that other side, but you're still gonna have to engineer that to take whatever amount of water you're looking at.
That's correct. Yeah, we still have to design it. We have a little more relief. I think we have a little more elevation to work with on the other side, but then again, we have less piping. The piping has to get the water there too. So
Right.
We could work something out. I guess. Is there a need to drive? Just trying to think here. We need to be able to get out on the wharf. Yeah. Certainly, we're going to make the repairs to the wharf.
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's any wheeled traffic that goes out there for any reason.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Okay.
you're not gonna eat up the whole entrance to the wharf.
No, I mean,
And by the looks of your elevations, you're at the same elevation you'd be at 507, I think it is.
I don't see it fitting there, Bob.
you know,
I mean,
Well,
obviously.
and at this stage, we could just take this footprint. I mean, we're real early. We just want to take it a little further, just because the math, the elevations are kind of a little bit tricky in here, and getting the water. We don't want pipes, for instance, to be full of water and freezing in the wintertime.
Right.
And yet we have to outlet to the lake. And so, there's a little bit of what we had hoped actually is to route the water here, but if it exceeds the capacity of this pipe, is that we would have an overflow potentially that just directs it here. We don't want the water to overflow, of course, and go down the beach.
right.
But we can't design it for a 100-year storm given the space that we have there. So one thing was kind of a, almost pressure relief valve, if you will, where water, if it backs up in this strip drain, could just elevate to a point where it just releases kind of where this 15-inch does. That's one potential, but that's separate, I think, from what you guys are discussing, where you're trying to wholesale avoid kind of this matter of ponding up and sending water onto his property.
Or onto the beach. I mean, I'm not as concerned about the property owners getting water as does it. If you get a 100-year storm, you're still going to have erosion on the beach because of it. I mean, if you take it off to the west side and you build a retention pond with an overflow, you get your settlement happens, and now it's exiting into the lake as opposed to across the beach. That's all. That's
Yeah.
just thinking.
Well, certainly we can come up with a little sketch of that. Do you guys would you guys like us not to present this one then to the abutter, or would you prefer to not even approach the abutter if we can make this?
Well, I think first you have to let us know whether going on the east side is feasible,
Yeah.
and then I think we'd make our decision from there.
Okay.
And I think ultimately we're going to all want to meet with the abutter anyway, because I don't think they're really aware of where the property line is.
Sure. Yeah.
Just so
Yeah.
everybody's on the same page.
Okay. We'll come up with a sketch. I know we can make something work there. It's what do we give up? And that's, I think, we'll probably end up having to give up a little bit of treatment of that water. But I think you're probably right. In a overflow situation, keeping it heading on that east side will certainly be more fail-safe than the other. I think we'll have a lot of capacity out of this, but I can, it's like playing hockey. You don't shoot in front of the net, right? If you don't have to don't bring it over here to bring it back across when we're trying to avoid bringing it down. You can just bring it in this area and out. So why don't we look at that, and then we can send you back a concept. And are you guys, when's the next time, can we get on a schedule? Or you guys have a full
2 weeks.
2 weeks? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? One thing here we considered was rather than the ditches, which some of the sand seems to be coming from the ditches, are you guys okay with the idea of a small Cape Cod berm, which kind of keeps the water contained on the pavement rather than flowing in the kind of sandy ditch where it picks up?
I would be.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't run the whole distance. It would just start here, and so water that normally would have shed off and go to this shoulder / we would just incorporate a paved kind of, it's called Cape Cod berm. It's used asphalt to kind of create a berm, and that would kind of shoehorn the water to keep it in this grate. So that's one of the features, but
So it's
not
like
part of the discussion.
it's like a speed bump. Is that what we're talking about?
But it's almost like curbing, but it's made out of asphalt rather than we're not going to put granite curbing on the edge of the road, but it's a curbing. So it's a almost was like a speed bump of material, but it's not as low. I mean, it runs parallel to the road, and really you just grade this. The slope both comes in on both sides, so you would just blend it right into that curbing. So it would have a reveal or stand up about, I don't know, Phil probably knows, 4 to 6 inches or something.
Yeah. The only problem I see with that is potentially plowing.
Plowing. Yeah.
I like the idea. It's going to run the water cleaner, right?
It will.
So
will.
that's a great idea. I just don't know how the plow's gonna, how it's gonna affect plowing.
Yes, yep. Well, how about this? We'll come up with a sketch for your next meeting, and we'll come up with some, thoughts or input or experience with plowing Cape Cod berms. Phil's very familiar with winter maintenance and so forth, so we can maybe try to address both of those in a meeting in a couple weeks. We're hopeful that we can meet up. I don't know if the abutter to the north is a summer resident or not. Hoping that we could meet up with them on person soon thereafter. If you guys, is that problematic for you guys? Would you have to wait until a following meeting to go out there for a site
Right,
visit?
I think we need to see our options first.
Yeah.
If we decide that we're gonna go in the westerly direction, then yeah, we absolutely need to meet with the neighbor.
Okay. All right, we'll take a look and see what we can get on that side, and we'll send back another plan to take a look at.
Excellent.
And was any of this work included in that estimate of the rebuild of Melvin Wharf that you did for us a couple of years ago?
No.
Okay.
No, it's what we did do is we did do a boundary survey, so we wouldn't need to do a boundary survey again. I think Lake Wentworth Association would be fine, providing the boundary survey. There'll still need to be a little bit if we have to go for a grant and right here, but largely it was this boundary survey could serve both for both projects. So it wasn't technically included. I didn't know what the prices would come in for a boundary survey for what we needed. We needed a more limited scope here for this project. As it turns out, we got a good number, and the guy came out and did it for the right of way and for the wharf. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't included, I guess, Chip, but you won't have to pay for the majority of the stuff that we did have in the cost. There's some, again, it depends on if it goes grant and right or not. If we go the same process we did before by extending out, then the surveyor actually has to come out and survey afterwards to confirm locations. But there'll be, long story short, there'll be a little bit of savings on that.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Great.
Okay.
All right.
All right, guys.
Thank you very much. Talk
Thanks,
to you in a couple
Tyler.
weeks.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Fancy meetings.
Bye-bye.
They're the way of the world now.
We have non-public? So we have a non-public that's been requested for, under RSA 91A:3, section 2A.
Could be A, could be B, could be C, I'm not quite sure, but
Okay. So I'll make a motion that we go into non-public under RSA 91A:32A.
I'll second.
Murray, yes.
Definitely, yes.
I'll be yes.
one for you,
All right.
one for you.
I'll make a motion to come out of non-public. No meeting was affected. The discussion, topic of discussion, the person, the topic of discussion has requested that this be an open meeting, so we are having an open meeting.
I provided you guys with just a little bit of paperwork. I'll go over it with you. Number one, the town administrator listed herself as a member of the Board of Selectmen on the town website, which had to be removed. Number two, the town administrator is a hired town employee, not an elected official. 3, duties of the town administrator in regards to budget committee are as to act as liaison and provide information with no direct management. Town administrator does not have the authority to manage as per the New Hampshire Municipal Association. Number 4, the town administrator does not have the authority to speak as a selectman. Number 5, the town administrator does not have the authority to micromanage any employees, emails, boards, etc. If done, the affected individuals can sue town administrator under the Whistleblowing Act, under bullying. These are all online. Number 6, the town administrator does not have the authority to tell untruths to any member of any board. The affected board member has the authority to report to the select board, and if no action is taken, then the affected board member can report to the Attorney General's Office of Public Integrity Unit and also the Office of Professional Licensure and Certification if the town administrator holds any professional license. So what I have done is I have attached a small sampling of issues that have come up. I did meet in a non-public before, and obviously I don't know if anything happened with that. Number 1, documentation showing lack of response to reasonable requests, minutes, and spreadsheets. Number 2, documentation showing the town administrator made unauthorized changes to budget committee documents. Number 3, documentation showing repeated requests that information be provided to the budget committee to be accurate. A couple of examples: personnel budget, road budget, for example. Number 4, documentation showing again the town administrator attempting to micromanage the budget committee. Number 5, documentation showing the budget chair having to respond to the town administrator yet again, trying to micromanage the budget committee. Documentation showing that the budget chair made requests regarding the police warrant article before the town meeting with no response from the town administrator. Documentation showing that the town administrator was not truthful in telling the chair that the DRA did not respond. As vice chair, I called and I spoke directly to Michelle Clark, and she indicated that they had spoken on several occasions, and additionally, that she was the one that made the request that she must talk to town council. Number whatever, documentation showing the town administrator was not truthful in speaking outside of her scope of authority. I asked the selectmen directly if they had spoken with her, and they had not. I have this in emails. Huh? If I made I asked if the selectmen had spoken with Audrey in regards to a phone call, and you had not. This is just a small sampling showing the errors made and the disrespect shown to the budget committee. In conclusion, the town administrator has and continues to be a liability to the budget committee, but more importantly to the town. And the current situation with the police department points directly back to her, or her lack of unwillingness to respond to what was a reasonable request by the chair of the budget committee. If she had done her job.
That request was what? I'm sorry.
The request was in regards to the warrant article, which has lapsed, which did lapse, and this started back in February. And I was asked if there were any emails to document such. And I think if the selectmen go back through the emails, and you can start, because you were all CC'd on all of these emails, and it started back in February. It could go all the way back to January, but in February, the request was made to look into this prior to the town meeting. Okay? And you can go on, and I'm not going to go through the rest of this because I don't think it's really necessary that I go through and do this. But the other thing that I want to say is, you know, I understand she's the town administrator, and I don't have her job description in front of me, and I don't know what authority you've given her. But what I can tell you is that when I made a request, and it comes back to me, and there's another example here. The selectmen did not make the request. It was Audrey that made the request. If Audrey makes the request in any further emails, I needed to say that she made the request, not a selectman. Because when I made this request on Friday to have a non-public, the selectmen asked. No, the selectmen didn't ask. There was no selectman present. Nobody asked. It was Audrey that asked about the non-public and what it was for.
No, I directed her to do that.
Well,
Because you can't just call for a non-public. We need to have it fit within certain boundaries.
absolutely.
And so we just needed information as to what it was about.
It was in my email, and it said it exactly what it was.
I
So anyway,
remember
Chip,
looking at the email, and I
it's
don't
fine.
remember seeing that. But
And so what part of the problem is here is that, you know, the budget committee hasn't violated any 91A rules in our emails. What we do is we send information out, and the only thing that we do schedule is we decide to schedule appointments different. for it to suddenly change and we can't have our regular emails structure, that's micromanaging a budget committee, which she has no authority of. That's not how it works. Also, telling me that she didn't talk to DRA. When she did talk to DRA, I had to go around, and I understand that some member here of the selectmen is unhappy that somebody made a phone call to legal. Well, the reason why I had to make a phone call to legal is because we were not getting the information. We were not being told. Finally, somebody else gave me the correct information, but I shouldn't have to do that as a board member. I shouldn't have to do that as a town official. You guys are the selectmen, you're elected. She's a town employee. She should treat all town officials with the same amount of respect that she does you guys. And I asked before, and this is exactly what I asked before, stay in your lane. Do your job and stay in your lane. That's what I've asked. And Audrey, stay in your lane, that's what I've asked. That's what I've asked all along. You're condescending to us at the budget committee, you're condescending to me. It's not professional.
Okay. This is not a personal vendetta thing.
It's not
If you
personal.
if you want, you listed out a list of grievances, that's fine. I'm the one that said, no, you don't get to talk to the attorney.
I understand that.
And the reason I did that is because the budget committee does not have a legal budget line. If you want to ask the attorney a question, you need to present the question and we'll ask the attorney. Or if you want to be there when we all talk to the attorney, which will happen in a week or a little over a week, then we'll have 10 sets of ears hearing what's going on. The problem that I had was the same problem I had when you called FDA, or what is it? The
DRA.
DRA. No, not DRA. The
You
federal
mean the USDA?
USDA. So there's only you on the phone and that person on the phone. All that is hearsay, Chris. When we do calls like that, there's at least 3 of us in the room, so that we've got 3 people listening to the conversation. So I have no way of verifying whether or not what you said is what actually happened. So that's not how we do it. So if you need to have a chat with our attorney, the town's attorney, that's fine. We're not saying you can't do that. We're just saying you do it in the proper setting.
That's fine. So my comment to you, I shouldn't have to think that I need to call the town attorney as a board member to get the information that was requested. Because the request was made in regards to this particular issue, and there's emails going all the way back through, and I wasn't going to waste my life going back through it today. Again, it was asked in February, and you can make the argument that it is, legal's the request was made for it to be looked at. It didn't get done. And during budget season, requests are made by the chair, which means the whole committee. I'm a part of that. So I'm just saying, when I say budget chair, the whole committee makes the request. I'm not trying to put that on.
Through the chair.
It's through the chair. That were ignored or not followed up on. The minutes from October didn't get presented until January. There's no reason for that. I believe, if I'm not correct, you can correct me right now, who is the secretary to the budget committee?
I think it's Ashley.
Then, okay, thank you. So then Ashley and the budget committee should be the only 2 dealing with the minutes, correct?
Well, I think that's all there was.
No, Audrey was dealing with the minutes, even when Ashley was present. If Ashley's our secretary, then the minutes don't need to be corrected and or looked at and or altered by the town administrator, which happened in January. And we said to please put it back to the way the budget committee had it, because why is she altering budget committee documents? Why is she altering minutes without our approval? Without our authorization?
Is that in here?
Yep. It is. And
I think that's fine, Chris, and I appreciate that this office shouldn't be altering budget committee minutes. That's fine. 90% of the slowness of those minutes was due to editing on the part of budget committee members.
No,
Yeah,
no, not the
what-
October
I was
one.
there.
No, you're not, no, you're
Okay,
wrong right
fine,
now.
fine.
It was because they were not even presented to us for editing. They weren't even presented to us for editing, Chip.
Okay.
I will go to my grave on that one. The reason why I brought this up is because it's just a small sampling. I can go back through our emails. I could do that. I don't want to do that. What I want is, I want there to be a cohesiveness, and this just needs to stop. I don't know what action you're going to take. I don't know if you're not going to take any action. But when I met in January, I thought something would happen, and nothing happened, and it got continuously worse. All you need to do, you don't need to like each other, but you gotta work together and you gotta be professional. And you gotta not step on somebody's toes. You're not supposed to violate rules and regulations. And I understand that. And honestly, you guys spend a lot of time volunteering, because I'm pretty sure your stipend doesn't cover nearly your costs. You're probably in the negative, right? Probably.
We're not here for the money.
Right. I'm not either. But what I am here for is to perform my job as to be a member of a board without having to have all kinds of pushback and things happen that shouldn't be happening. If there's a problem, which there shouldn't be any problem, we have a perfectly good secretary here now, and we have a budget committee. There's no reason to have a third party involved, right?
I guess that's, that could be subjective.
Her job is to provide as a liaison and to provide information. That's right from the New Hampshire Municipal Association. And also, if you're gonna bring up about the not constituting a meeting, if you go right onto the slides that are in the presentations of the New Hampshire Municipal Association, is you have to stay within the spirit of the 91A. Of course, you're not gonna be making decisions. You guys don't make decisions over email. The budget committee does not make decisions over email. You can disseminate and you can provide information to all the members so that they have something to look at when they come. Because everything's done electronically now. Not everybody's gonna come down to the office and they're not gonna pick up a packet the night before. That's unfair to them because they don't have time to prepare. You can send it to them in an email ahead of time. You can send out questions ahead of time. You don't have to discuss it on email, and we don't. And to outright tell me something that didn't happen, that is a problem.
Okay. What are you expecting? What are your expectations?
My expectations are to have professionalism and when the budget committee makes a request, I didn't go into the number of errors how many times the personnel budget had to be looked at because of errors. I was told that she had a lot to do and she was already overworked, and I understand that. But also in here, provided, was the fact that the chair did a lot of work himself too. It needs to be a cohesiveness, and it needs to be professional. And for lack of a better word, because I'm self-employed and I'm a business owner and I live in this town, the nonsense just needs to plain stop. It just needs to stop. It just needs to end. It doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't do anything for the budget committee. And most of all, it takes time away from doing the things that we're supposed to be doing as service to the town. When I have to deal with this, which I shouldn't have to deal with, and when I irritate one of the selectmen because I have to make a call because I don't get the answer that I'm supposed to get,
That's not what I said, Chris. What I said was with the method you used, and I don't care if you hear me or you don't hear me, the method you used, a one-on-one conversation, is useless. Absolutely useless.
Right, but what I'm
because
saying
I don't know
is
what
I
that
should-
person said.
I know, but I shouldn't have had to make the call. I should have gotten the information provided to me, as we should have, as the budget committee had.
This is from the
us.
USDA?
No,
Okay, what are we talking about now? The attorney?
it's in the documents. You can read the documents.
I've been reading them. The only conflict I'm seeing here is, there was a,
It has to do with the phone call to the attorney about the lapsing of the warrant article.
Right,
and also DRA. She said that she did not contact DRA. She did contact DRA. Audrey contacted DRA.
okay,
It was asked, the request was made from February on to please contact Department of Revenue to find out about the warrant article.
right.
Department of Revenue does not have the authority, nor do they have any scope by which to make that determination on whether the warrant article was lapsing or not. All they determine is how the warrant article is written and if it is correctly written. That's all they do.
And also, they look at our annual audits and,
I'm talking about just the way the article was written. That's what we were
Right.
talking about.
right, we're talking about those warrant articles which are in question that are still on our balance sheet. The
But-
DRA audits our balance sheet every year and all of those items on it. So the only thing that they told us, you're correct, those items are there. They can't tell us whether they're spendable or not spendable.
It was to
That's-
find
that's-
out the wording if it was lapsing or not.
I think we're getting into
a different thing.
we're sidetracking
Yes,
here.
and I don't want to sidetrack because that's a different day.
So, do you want Audrey to respond to this?
No, I don't.
You just laying it out on the table,
Mhm.
and you want it to be better.
I
You want it fixed.
I want it fixed. You know, we all have a job to do. That's all we need to do. That's it. That's all that needs to happen. You don't need to micromanage, you don't need to oversee, you know, if there's a problem, we have a resolution, we fix it. That's it. Simple, plain and simple. You know? It's called, we all need to play nice in the sandbox, and I didn't want to come here and do this again, but after the last time, I said, that's it. You know, when you tell me one thing and then it's not true, you know, this is really taking it too far. Just be professional, you know, there's no reason she can provide and do her job as a liaison to provide information to the budget committee. Ashley's our secretary. Ashley and the budget committee are the ones to deal with the minutes. There's no reason for Audrey to interject and do anything with our minutes because she's not a member of the budget committee.
As this is an open meeting, I would like to provide some response, please. I don't want to go through each line item.
Are you,
Nope.
are you,
No.
are you all set with, your presentation?
If she's gonna sit here and she's gonna talk, then we're gonna have an open discussion because, you know, I wanted it to be non-public. It doesn't have to be non-public, but I have a couple of things here that can definitely go to legal.
Yeah, well, we're respecting
Mm-hmm.
your wishes by having the non-public. I think it's only fair to respect her wishes by having an opportunity to speak. And I'm gonna grant her the opportunity to speak, but, this conversation will remain civil.
Yep.
Or the conversation will end,
Of course.
okay? Okay.
There were a few things I take note with. One of them is I'd like to clarify October 29th, I think it was. Ashley was not here. I was here, and I was negligent getting those minutes ready. So that I do take ownership for. There's several other items that I would take note with, but I feel like it would be petty. For example, on Friday, when the 91A was requested, Chip was here, he made the decision. It was not me on Friday. And so going through each item would be getting into the weeds. Ashley took the right to know class and she notified the budget committee. I did not. I didn't tell her how to respond, and I believe Rob's gonna talk about that on Tuesday, in Tuesday's meeting. So I find there's several things I would disagree with, but I would do that in an employee review, not with Ms. Sawyer.
Okay,
Is it okay for me to respond to that one
Yeah.
thing about the email?
yeah, absolutely.
So you sent out the email telling everybody to respond to you directly. It didn't come from Ashley, it came from you. I can pull it up if you need to, but that came from you. To discuss, not to discuss, but to schedule legal coming. And it was supposed to be directly to you.
And that's representative of the selectmen, not a budget committee secretary item, because the legal works for the selectmen, so I'm representing the selectmen.
That's not how none of the other emails have ever been like that.
I've never scheduled legal with budget.
You said for anybody to respond to you directly, all it had to be was reply all if we could be at the budget, if we could be at the meeting. That's all it was. That's all the email was in regards to, but it was told that we had to respond to you directly, could not hit reply all. All it was is to schedule a time for the budget committee to meet with legal. That's all that email was about. And you're right, it could get into the weeds. Like I said, I just wanted to.
So I think the whole purpose of this meeting is to move forward.
Yep.
You have accusations. I think Audrey has the right to respond, at least to the three of us. You say you don't need a response. The budget committee just wants to move forward in an equitable, however you want to choose your adjective, direction.
Professional.
Yes.
Just be professional.
Yes.
Just be professional. And don't micromanage the budget committee.
I think that's a reasonable request, and I don't see a reason why we can't go in that direction.
Perfect. That works for me. And I'm sure it'll work for the rest of the budget committee. It's all we need.
Okay.
I didn't want to have a meeting to ask for it.
Well, hey,
I didn't.
it is what it is. Thank you for your time. You are a concerned citizen. You've volunteered in the community, and we appreciate all of your efforts.
See you on Tuesday.
See you on Tuesday. Okay. Next is the consent calendar, which we have just, we don't really have to do anything. This is a payment voucher from the state of New Hampshire. It's one payment of quarterly payment from our highway block grant of $27,097.91.
How is that remitted? Is it a check or?
They send us a check.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
We've
don't
already
take
received
cash.
a couple of checks this year.
We don't take cash.
No, I didn't know if they did a transfer.
Action items. Action items we handled already with the
John Littlefield.
John Littlefield.
Yeah.
That's done. Correspondence. Notice of decisions from the ZBA. The appeal of Equanimity Builders, 421 Governor Wentworth Highway for a special exception regarding section 3.6.b.1 of the zoning ordinance has been denied for reasons listed below: creation of a traffic hazard, change in character of the neighborhood, municipal strain, increase the volume in the neighborhood, no benefit to the town. Case number 600, an appeal 427 Governor Wentworth Highway for a special exception regarding section 3.6.b.3. The zoning ordinance has been granted. We have a wetlands permit by notification.
The library.
And library budget, which we reviewed last selectmen's meeting, and just a notice of a vacation for one of our employees. Town administrator and selectmen's updates. Audrey, come on to the table, please.
I have stuff, just a minute. I have pins and needles in my foot. So. question that I need to know if the selectmen can attend. You can let me know in the next day or two.
Is that the Camp Belknap?
It is September 24th, so it's earlier and hopefully a little warmer. 4 o'clock is boat rides.
I know I'm in Scotland at that time.
Take boat rides.
They're gonna have a cake?
A cake? Is that
Well,
your
it's my
birthday?
birthday.
Nice. They would. If you're gonna go, let me know. Could happen.
Yeah, I'll be going. Put me down for 2.
Thank you. Donahue, Tucker, and
Chandela.
thank you for pronouncing that. They do the charter cable franchise contract. I wasn't here last time. We get over $20,000 a year. Do you want for them to continue to represent the town? And the last contract I found was from 2019.
Yeah.
I don't.
That was before my time.
We don't have any leverage in that contract negotiation. So, I mean, the last time we went through this, we tried to negotiate. The $20,000 we get are just fees that they charge our residents, so it's just a pass-through. It doesn't come out of their pocket.
So we would get them either way.
Yeah, we could up it to $50,000, but it's just a tax on our citizens. It's not.
Okay.
We're not charging the cable company anything. It's kind of like these tariffs.
My only fear is if we're not represented in the contract negotiation, the contract could change, which wouldn't.
Well, no, we have to have representation. I just want to warn you that there's really no leverage on our end of
Yeah,
things.
well, so yes,
Yeah.
we need representation.
And we don't have to resign.
What are the ramifications if we don't?
Well, I suppose theoretically they could pull all the cable down. But currently we have another cable going in, or it's in a lot of places.
Well, yeah, it's fiber, but there are a lot of people who chose not to get the fiber, and they're staying with the Spectrum. So Spectrum is still going to be an entity in the town that's.
So they can still
needed.
charge so what we would lose by not signing the contract is the $20,000.
So then,
And how much do we pay for this representation? Don't tell me $20,000.
I don't know what the initial year was. They did a cold call to me when I first came on board and charged for that hour conversation. And then they just charged for a half hour for sending an email a couple weeks ago.
I think we should continue with the representation.
Yeah.
All right, and then Cobalt Construction has been out. He will be back, I believe, Wednesday, maybe Thursday. And I gave you a packet of estimated cost to date. He did make some specific suggestions on, let's see, he gave me, I have a revised quote on overhead door, exterior, siding, and ceiling panels.
Does he need us to make any decisions tonight?
He's recommending award on these 3 items.
Excuse me.
Jack had looked at the garage doors and Seacoast door was revised
Mm-hmm.
with Jack's recommendations.
So we had already ordered that to someone else.
No, we have not
No.
awarded any of these.
Okay.
No. But these are coming in as recommendations from both our construction manager and our code officer.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, on Jack, I'm gonna say, he doesn't really say yes, go for it.
Well, he'd tell you no.
Right.
If you didn't like it,
Right, that's what I'm saying. So on the overhead door, he had noted that it had like three-way power on the first one, so I conveyed that to Chris, because Chris did get competitive bids, and Chris prefers Seacoast door systems, and went back to them and had them revise it. And it actually came down like $2,000 as a result of that revision.
Okay.
good.
So it's $7,270.31,
Right, for the garage doors.
and the openers, right?
Yes.
So I'll make a motion that we award Seacoast Door Systems the garage doors at the police station for $7,270.31.
I'll second.
Further discussion? All those in favor?
And
Jack had asked me where Northwind Exteriors is located. They're in Farmington.
so this is to completely side the building and do all of the fascias and trims and the soffit.
Yes.
Aye. Now, our builder did not give us a quote to do this.
He did, but he doesn't have time. He stepped back from it.
Okay. Okay.
Do we have any idea
$44,259.
whether that number 44,000 is reasonable? Okay.
Is it competitive with the quote that our builder had given us?
Yeah,
The builder gave us a quote that included windows. So
Okay.
I can't,
And there's no way to pull it out,
Yeah.
obviously.
And we don't,
back it up.
well, we've got a window number, but that's just the windows itself, not installation.
right, and the way I came up with that number was by taking our builder's number minus his price.
Mm-hmm.
I just did just deduction.
And Northwind Exteriors is coming through with a recommendation
yep.
from our construction manager.
Correct.
So I'll make a motion that we award Northwind's exterior, the siding, trim, soffits, and fascias for $44,259. And that we empower our administrator to issue a 50% material deposit when they send us a quote or a contract.
An invoice, contract.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Good. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we got a ceiling quote as well.
And Cobalt did get 2 bids for this. The other one was, let's see, $400 less, but he recommended the Alpha and Omega.
Any particular reason?
I didn't ask.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was the difference?
$400.
Oh,
So,
It's certainly nothing to lose sleep over, but I would wanna, I'm curious. But if it comes through his recommendation,
do you want to award it?
I don't see any reason why not. If it was $4,000, I'd say no.
yeah.
$400
$400.
with a recommendation, I'm okay.
All right, I'll make a motion that we award Alpha and Omega Acoustics the ceiling installation and furnishing of the product of Armstrong 7300 series grid system for $14,650.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Tammy hand carried the easement paperwork over to New Hampshire Electric Co-op, and they've given me an estimate of anywhere, they said the order for the pole had been put in on July 23rd, and it could be anywhere from 2 weeks to 8 weeks, so, for the state to approve. So I wrote to the state, the community rep, and he was on vacation for 2 days last week, but sent it to the correct district. And on Friday, it was approved by the state. So within minutes, I had an email from the co-op saying that they would get the pole installed within the next couple of weeks. I talked to the electrician today, and he felt that it might actually be in this week.
Good.
And he'll be talking to the correct person on Wednesday when they come to do Central Park.
Good. I see it staked out, and the trench is done from
Mhm.
the pole location all the way
Yeah.
around.
And if for any, I talked to Josh when he came in, and he said he doesn't like to use generators because they aren't kinda, and it ruins equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fire department has a really large generator they can put there if necessary that will prevent that.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
that's all happening.
Yep, I ran into the chief the other day, and I guess you talked to him already too.
And the construction guy was on board with that?
I don't know if anyone's gotten back to him yet. I'm gonna wait for Chris to come back in 2 days and let him do that.
Alright. So if it's needed, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Because the construction, he's not available, I think, until the 18th or something, so. And then the chief and I are gonna have a conference call with Lakes Region Computer so that they can give us a quote. So that's the police station. The assessment cards, this is my first time in a 5-year assessment, and there were something like 3,200 letters and more cards than that because some people have multiple properties. And the paper and the taxing of the machine, I had them done at Staples for $1,700. And I want to thank the town clerk, the police secretary, Cammie and Ashley for all matching them and getting them in envelopes and getting them in the mail and hand carrying them to the mail. So it was definitely a team effort, all hands on deck upstairs.
Well done. Have you been getting much response from the people whose
Yes.
properties have
Yes.
been reevaluated?
Some people have come in and they have questions and they see it appears mostly on the ones that I've looked at. It's the value of the land that's increased, and that's understandable to them, and they seem good when they understand the whole process, and that the tax rate is not set based on the valuation of property, that it's the expenses that drive the taxes.
Our budget.
Right.
So just because people have to understand, just because their valuation goes up, does not mean it's gonna be an equal increase in their tax rate. The tax rate is set by the town budget.
Right.
It's the valuation of the property in town that the DRA looks at and values the town.
Right.
Some people's taxes may go up, some people's may go down.
Mm-hmm.
Though it's unlikely they'll go down, but it's happened before. Is that a fair explanation?
Yeah, my taxes went down a couple of times over the last 50 years.
Yep.
And Jen helped me put a notice on the website, so if people go to the assessing tab on the website, there's a good description there. And we also updated the valuation percentages over the last 5 years. They hadn't been updated, and since 19. So all that's updated on the website so people can go to the assessing tab. And there's 3 days the assessor's making appointments. I think the 18th is full now. So, yeah, Cammie's phone's ringing off the hook.
And how much did the total property value go up in Tuftonboro?
I don't know the total. I'll
No.
ask him Monday. Yeah, good question. I've had a few general assistance visitors who have not returned. I wrote to the DOT about the signs along 19 Mile Day for the trailer parking, and they got back. Bill Lambert isn't in charge of that anymore, but he connected me, and he wanted to make sure they had alternate parking, which they do.
Mhm.
And let's see, the fire chief came in today, and there was one employee that we didn't have the correct personnel action form back in March, and he's requesting that that be reviewed and the person be brought up from a grade 5-4 to 5-6 because he got his firefighter 2, EMT, and ice tech. So he just ran that in at like 4 o'clock.
Have you reviewed it?
Yeah, I compared it to the sheet with him.
Is it accurate?
Well, I don't get copies of their certifications on what they do, but
Well, I believe him. If he said
yeah.
he's got a certification, I believe it.
yeah.
I don't need,
But
to see that.
they value the amount
So-
is correct.
do you want us to take action on this tonight?
He would like that, yeah. And it's an on-call, so the retro would go back to March.
And it's budgeted?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's, they don't get very many hours per month, so gratefully, right?
But we didn't vote yet. I gave it to you to look at.
I looked at it when I saw the files, so I'm happy with it.
Okay.
All right, I'll make a motion that we approve the personnel action form. Do you want us to read out what it is?
They don't have to.
I'll
You
make a
could
motion.
say you're promoting, you could say his name because it's public information,
Mhm.
you're promoting him to that grade.
Okay, we're promoting Greg Gavin from a current grade and level of 5-4 to 5-6. Motion's been made.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The intersection of 171 Ledge Hill and Durgan is gonna have a traffic study. So even after the four-way stop, there was something in place back in January of 2023 where the town applied for a program to study that intersection. And that's been granted, so now there's gonna be a study there,
Okay.
okay?
So we're gonna study the thing that we said don't bother with, except for maybe putting in a light. Is that right?
Well, yeah, we the state came to us and wanted to put the four-way stop sign. We put feelers out in the community, and the consensus was nobody wants a four-way stop there.
No, it was, we did get a majority, but there was plenty of
Mm-hmm.
blowback too. There were plenty of support for it.
Yep.
For it as well.
But there was more against.
More against,
than there
agreed.
was for.
Agreed.
The state came and gave us a presentation of why they wanted to put the four-way and how it's worked in other places. Not being a professional, all I can do is offer an opinion, and my opinion was that a four-way stop sign would not work very well, but who am I? Just a lowly selectman. I was gonna pursue, the state for putting in a blinking light there, 2 red, 2 yellow. But if we're gonna be getting, an actual study, perhaps we'll postpone that for now until we see the study.
I thought I did write to them about the light, and they said they didn't promote
They don't
those
like
type-
lights because they have to ask the legislature for.
Yeah, and they're not gonna pay for it, but they said that we could do it all on our own.
Yeah.
So I talked to a light installer, I found out how much it would cost to put in lights, and the next step was to go to the state and ask about the permitting process, which I hadn't quite embarked on yet, but I was going to. But if we're gonna get a formal study, I'll wait on that.
And the last state-related thing is, I guess governor and council or whoever had to go through approved Sodom Road, so HEB and I will be on a conference call about Sodom Road. So I have several conference calls this week. And I'm meeting with the budget committee chairman on Wednesday, and I'm out on Friday.
Okay. Cammy will be here covering the office.
Yeah.
Very good.
So on that, general assistance, we had a person come in that the church was gonna help. Did that person come back in for help from us?
No,
Okay.
Good?
good,
Okay.
good with me.
Oh, any other words on the solar
Oh,
at the transfer station?
I don't have anything.
I know we asked 2
Yeah.
weeks ago the same
Yeah.
question,
Yeah,
but I don't know if there were any
no.
updates since.
I did call,
revision?
no, Stantec,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And, well, I emailed Stantec and he said, oh yeah, I'm gonna call her tomorrow. So I copied revision on it
Yeah,
to give them some
yeah,
help.
okay. Edging on Ledge Hill Road, did you get an answer on when they're gonna finish that?
They do it when it rains.
So we got another 10 days to wait.
Yeah.
Okay, are we on the list for the next rain event?
I assume so.
They do it when it rains. Okay. That's interesting.
So it doesn't blow away.
Unless it's a Saturday, I guess.
Okay, anything from you guys?
Yeah, I just gave David a copy of my, this is a draft of something that I was working on.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important to have some sort of central document rather than just pages and pages of numbers. So it walks whoever's reading this through the process that we've gone through and how much money we've spent, how much money we've obligated. So those numbers at the bottom, the total work, the work total and the amount of money that we've spent need to be adjusted. It's a draft. The other thing, and I looked at all of the stuff that Chris had given us and filled in all of the numbers in this page here,
Mm-hmm.
with the exception of insulation. And I came up with $277,000. So according to this balance sheet that she's working on here, there's $372,000 left. So if you fill in the well, the pump, the drywall, the ballistics, the casework and counters, miscellaneous counters is in there, the accessories, exterior sign. So everything major except for the insulation is about $270,000.
So essentially, we have $100,000 to insulate the place.
We're $100,000 less than we have. So two things happen there. One, hopefully we get it in under budget. But two, when the discussion happens about what are you doing about the FDA money, or whatever, is it FDA?
USDA.
USDA.
USDA money.
Why aren't we using it?
None of that would, until we spend $2,050,814.57, we can't access any money from them. So our hope is to come in at less than that. So if we come in at less than that, none of that USDA money would be
So if we
available.
come in under budget, we wouldn't get the money anyways.
Right,
Regardless.
right. So I'll continue to work as numbers, now that we've voted on a couple of things,
So forgive me, Chip.
yeah.
Who is the audience for this?
You and us and the budget committee.
Okay.
I'm thinking that if they're gonna get a packet, rather than them having to go through the exercise of dissecting the numbers to figure out where we are, or where we've been, or where we're going, that if we walk them through how we've been thinking, so we started
This is
with,
a Reader's Digest version.
yeah, we started with $2,050,000, but of that, we only get to spend $1,302,000 until we get authorization for the other $700,000.
But
So
the
how
budget
much of
committee
that-
would generally like something like this?
I'm sorry?
The budget committee generally would like something like this.
Right, right.
Which they're gonna
But-
get.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna get, but it's gonna show $1,304,106.55 amount under the scope of work in the initial setting. Well, we haven't spent $1,300,000.
We've only committed to it.
Right.
We've awarded it,
Yeah,
that's
right.
all,
Yep.
but we haven't spent it.
Yep.
So all we've spent to date is somewhere around $300,000.
Right, but they're going to be interested. They're going to be interested in all of this.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but just so that they don't think we got the cart before the horse here.
Okay. Yeah, I understand.
We've only been working with $1.3 million, because that's what we're authorized to spend.
Right.
Do you
That's
want
what-
any input from us? on this?
Absolutely. Whatever you have. I'm gonna meet with Audrey and Chris, when is that, next Monday?
I don't have it finalized with Chris.
Okay. But sometime before the Tuesday evening meeting, so it may be at the end of this week, I don't know, but she's off on Friday. But whatever input you have, that would be fine with me. It's just, the question of what was our, why did you do this, why did you do that, or what's your motivation, or how did you come up with these things? And I was trying to figure out how to just lay it out as to where we are, because they can all see where it sits right now. But even if we, and I didn't get into the minutia of it, but even if we let Heyman start, we've got the money to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And of the $1.3 million, we're holding back, I think it's $56,000 till the very end of it. And the paving and the landscaping won't happen until the very end.
Right.
So we're well below the amount of money that we're authorized to spend, and we're gonna shell up
Okay.
at that point.
But so there's no question, we have the money. We have all the money to build this police station. We have it.
Yeah, it's just authorities that.
It's just $757,000 would just need to be reauthorized, that's all. Okay.
Most of the numbers on the sheet came from estimates from Chris Garcia. He
Right,
and I worked on the list together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Ashley applied for a grant for a flagpole.
Nice.
so we'll just need to update that,
With who?
door number.
It was someone someone who provides flagpoles for first responders, veterans.
Oh, yeah?
Nice.
It sounds like something you could approach like a Lions Club or American Legion or, you know, I'm just curious.
We have a nice fiberglass flagpole at the nursing home. One person can, I mean, the thing's 30 feet tall, but one person can take it down and put it back up. It's
Wow.
light, it's very strong, but very light.
Hmm.
It's got a hinged base.
Cool.
Yeah. You all set?
Yep.
Dave, anything for you?
I have nothing.
You heard about the update on electricity at the
Yep.
Central Park?
Yep.
Okay. And I have nothing either. Everything I was gonna talk about is covered tonight, so we're good to go. Any other business come before us tonight? All right, I would entertain a motion.
I'll move we adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.